Hey there, planner friends. Hadn't logged a video with you guys in a few weeks, I guess probably since the beginning of January, and I just thought I would check in with you and tell you a little bit about what I've been doing with my planners. As you can see, I'm facing the camera today instead of showing you like a face down of my planners, and I just felt like talking to you face to face instead of talking to my planner and letting you look at my hands for however long I'm going to talk. So grab yourself a cup of coffee or tea and be prepared for a somewhat rambling, chatty video because I'm going to kind of make this up as I go along. But I thought I would share with you a little bit about what I've been contemplating on in terms of planning, how my planners have been working for me in the month of January, what worked, what didn't work, what am I doing now. Not a whole big giant change from what I shared with you at the beginning of January, but a little bit of change. So let me put this cup of coffee down and we'll talk about things. So if you watch I think it was my last video, I talked a little bit about this guy, my Hobonichi, and I just shared on my Instagram a reel where I did a flip through of this. I will just go ahead and tell you, I'm probably not going to share this all the time or a lot, because a lot of what I'm doing in here is very personal in terms of journaling and thoughts and processing and things like that. So, which is very ironic to me because I've always said I'm not a journaler, and it turns out maybe I am, at least at this stage in life. But anyway, I did share a quick flip through of this on my Instagram in my reel. So if you're interested in seeing what I've been doing there, you can go look at that. If I can figure out how to do it, I'll pop a screenshot or two up in the top up here for you guys to see. But I've really been enjoying this in the capacity of a journal. I've tried for years to use a Hobonichi as a planner and struggled with it for various reasons. The paper, the layout, the size, all the different things, and the cousin in particular. And I've always liked the idea of having it this way, but the big thing for me too was the fact that I couldn't add pages. You're kind of stuck with what you get. But for a journal, man, I'm really loving this. I'm having so much fun. It's a little bit of a combination of tracking and reflecting and keeping up with things that have happened in my life and thoughts and feelings that I have about them, creative outlet, keeping up with things like this is my monthly view for January, and you can see I've got like I had mentioned I was going to do, books that I'm reading, keeping track of those, major events, things like that. The weekly view is a little bit of everything, but it's all being done after the fact. So like these gray bars, I was going to be tracking my sleep, and I decided I didn't like that, so I only did it for a week or two and then I quit. But it's really just things that happened and keeping track, making notes, stuff like that. And then I'm having fun with stickers and pens and washi and just decorating. And I'm doing all this reflectively, looking back as opposed to planning. So then I can fit things in the way I want and add stickers and things like that. So that's been really fun. I'll show you just a couple of my favorite pages for January. So here's my I think people call these vision boards. This is what I put at the beginning, and you know, just things that I want to focus on and remember for the year. This down here at the bottom is kind of what centered all of my pictures and things like that. It says, and it's something I found on Instagram and just screenshotted it, but it says New Year's resolutions for gentle souls. Make room for rest. Listen to your body, hug more trees, resist the hustle mentality, embrace good enough instead of striving for perfection, lean into vulnerability, give love freely, including love for yourself. So I kind of picked that to kind of anchor everything, and then I picked pictures. Some of them are ones off of the internet and some of them are ones off of my phone. But just things that I wanted to, kind of remember that I wanted to do. Be outside more, be with my friends more, be with my family more, make time for art, make time for reading, that kind of thing. So that's kind of the beginning of my page for 2023. Yes, 2023. And then I'm going to go back and journal here, but I just didn't have I haven't gotten my thoughts together yet. But this is going to be kind of like a look back at January. And then over here I did, I think I mentioned before I was going to do like the ings, reading, listening, thinking. And I didn't put the ing word there, but it's essentially what I did, like books, podcasts, movies, TV shows, food, things like that. And then some of my favorite pages here that I've done. This one I liked in particular because I painted this little teacup and journaled about a very nice afternoon that I had with a friend of mine who treated me to a high tea for my birthday. We went a few months late. My birthday's in September, but it was just such a nice afternoon, and I was like, yay, I can journal about this. So I put that in here. Some of the other ones that I really like, I liked this one, that I was having a good hair day, and so I took a picture of myself and then journaled a little bit about it, and that was kind of I liked doing that, capturing where I'm at. This another spread that I like. This is current makeup, and I'll drop some screenshots so you can see this better, but this is current makeup and hair routine. And then over here I was journaling about a care package that I sent to my daughter. So yeah, it's really just whatever. I have blank pages. I don't care. I'll go back and fill those in with other things. I make myself notes on Post-its about what I want to journal, and that way later when I come back I can remember what I wanted to talk about that particular day. I'm having fun using my Canon Ivy and putting pictures down. I completely ignore the timeline, and I'm cutting things out, memorabilia, sticking it down, journaling, using my stickers, painting in here. This was out of a takeout bag. So I'm just having fun, and I'm really enjoying it. And so, yeah, it's been like, I did a little bit of journaling this morning. I'm kind of trying to spend my Saturday mornings, for an hour or so doing some journaling and catching up. Here's what I did this morning, and I kept it really simple. I just used a mild liner for kind of headlines and then journaled underneath. So that's how that's going, and I really like it. It's already starting to get a little bit of chunk to it with the things that I've put in there and the crinkliness of the papers, and I've got a playbill stuck in there from a play that we went to, some cards in the back, and I just can't wait to see what it's going to look like at the end of the year. So that's my Hobonichi. And then of course, Matilda is not very far away. I tried different weekly and dailies for January, and I didn't like them, I'll be honest. And it's kind of funny because I made the ones that I used for the weekly myself, and I didn't like it. I missed my DIY fish pages. I missed the layout that I had, and I missed having a very simple grid page for the daily pages. So for February, I went back and I just went ahead and bought the whole year of my DIY fish pages. I've committed to the year. I'm not going to try to do something else. Knock wood. I'm going to stay. I'm going to stay with what I know works, and I'm going to keep using Matilda. She's a chunk. I don't care. I'm enjoying it. I don't really take her anywhere, so it doesn't matter that she weighs 47 pounds. And I'm having fun setting up, the pretty Cocoa Daisy stuff as far as the stickers and the dashboards and things like that. And, setting up my monthly view, things like that. I'm just not gonna, I'm not going to stress. That's my big thing with my planner. I'm just going to try to enjoy it. So here's, I got really, creative, I guess you could say, very tongue in cheek, and stuck some stickers here on the side for this week. But Generally speaking, it's just, you know, the basics that I always do. I've got my, you know, my washi tape on my weekly view. I've got a little bit of color at the top, and that's it. I'm just going to keep it very functional. It works for my brain. It works for how I plan, and I'm very happy with that. I have added some things in the back in the personal section that I can show you guys in another video around health tracking, mood tracking, things like that. The idea is that I would put those things in Matilda on a daily basis or weekly basis, and then I'm transferring some of that to the Hobonichi in the front in that year at a glance section, so that I can see over the course of the year. But since I don't have the Hobonichi with me all the time, and I do have Matilda with me, I'm putting it in Matilda and then just transferring it over. It's minimal effort. I do it on Saturdays when I do my journaling, so I don't really care. In other news, other things, I had a temporary dalliance with an A6 Hobonichi. I had thought about having this to go with the A5 and using this as a planner. I set it up and used it for about a week. Let's see, the last day it looks like the last day I used it was January 18th and 19th. And it was, I think, in response to the fact that I wasn't really happy with the daily and weekly pages that I had in Matilda. And I had this already. I didn't buy it. I had already bought it. And so I was using it, and I like it. I don't have a problem with it. I may go back and use it for a while. The nice thing about it is it's small, it's portable, it's lightweight, and I can stick it in my purse if I wanted to, where, you know, comparatively, Matilda, you know, she's bigger and she's fatter and heavier. So one thing I know for sure is I have to have a daily planner. I have to have a day for every page. I don't always have to have a week view. I like a week view, but I can do without it. But I need a weekly task list, and I need a daily, you know, somewhere to kind of center my day. So I could potentially use this if I wanted to as a planner, but the only thing about going into a bound book for me is I feel this, for some reason, compulsion to hoard pages. And I feel like, oh, I can't write that there because I might need that room, or I don't want to stick this in there or in the back. Whereas with the rings, I can just write it on any page. And if I don't need it, I tear it out and throw it away, or I archive it. And if I do need it, then I have it. And I don't have to worry about running out of paper because I can always print another whatever, or just pull another blank paper out. So that's always been my challenge with bound books. I like the portability, I like the archivability, and I've actually really been enjoying, like I said, the Hobonichi, because I'm not trying to use it as a planner. So it's all retrospective and it's all archival. But for some reason, for me, the functionality of using a bound book for planning has just always been a struggle. But I may pull this out and I may use this. And I have also been using this, and this is all Sam's fault. I'm just going to go ahead and call it. This is all because of Sam's influence. This is a Pocket Moleskin Weekly. Again, I had bought this back in the fall. This is actually a 2022-2023, so I had bought it last summer. This is not a new purchase either. This I bought like last July, I think. And I have kept it in my purse since then, and just used it like when I was at doctor's appointments or we're out with friends, and you know, somebody says, well, what about such and such? Can you do this? Can you do that? And I had this to at least make a note or write something down. Now, what I have done since the beginning of the year was, in response to several of you that I have seen using a pocket moleskin, and some of the creative ideas that you've had. And so I've made some changes in here, which I really like, and it's made it even more functional for carrying in my purse. And that one of the things is I taped in 2 page per month views. These are just the free Peanuts Planner Co. monthly inserts. And I just taped those in. I think I just dropped something. I did that through the month of June just to see, and I just started at the very beginning, right after the page that has your personal information, and started taping those in. I printed them on Tomoe river paper, so they're very thin. They didn't add a lot of bulk. And I just did it through, like I said, through June. But since this was an academic, I was covering up last year's one-page monthlies that I didn't need anymore anyway, so I didn't worry too much about it. And then here's the January through, through whatever one page. So when I get to July, if I need to plan ahead for July, I've still got the one-pagers. And if I decide that I want to keep using this through the rest of the year, then I'll just tape the 2-pager monthlies on top of those when I get to that point. But yeah, this has been, like I said, it's not an everyday, day-to-day planning. I'm really just using it for when I'm on the run and I need to look something up, making some notes and things like that as I need to. And it's worked out really well. See, here's December, where I had it with me when I was, going, I think I was going to my mom's then, and I needed it, just to have something. Nothing fancy, mostly just pen, a little bit of washi, that kind of thing. One thing I did do that I thought was really cool, that I really like, is, I don't know if you'll remember if you've watched my channel before, but at one point when I was using a Pocket Plus, Pocket Plus inserts and a Pocket Rings, I had created my own dividers, and I had used some plastic dividers like you would get for a regular 8.5 by 11 notebook, and cut them down and use the little pocket tab as the top tab, and then cut holes in it. Well, I realized that basically this Pocket Plus tab divider that I had made would fit in here as just, just slip it in as a page marker. And so I stuck some Post-it notes on it. So I'd have Post-it notes, because everybody needs Post-it notes. And this particular one, I had already used a sticker that said today, and I just dropped that in here like that. And then when I've got it closed up, and because it's that plastic, the heavyweight plastic that came with the planner, it doesn't get messed up in my purse. And, if it wouldn't matter, because it's, something that I created out of scraps I had from the kids' school supplies. And then you'll see here, I'm just sticking Post-it notes in here of things I need to get at the store or stuff like that. And, yeah, I'm enjoying it. We'll see. I was actually updating it this morning. I sync it on Saturday mornings with Matilda. Matilda's the workhorse. I use her for everything every day. And I was syncing this up to put it back in my purse. And I was thinking, I could probably get away with just using this. And that's when I was like, no, you couldn't, because you need a daily view. You don't do good with a weekly view and nothing else. I do better with a daily view and nothing else. And so then I was like, well, you could pull this out. And then I was like, okay, we're not going down that rabbit trail. We're just going to stick with what works. So as of right now, this is the stack, and this is the workhorse, and this will always be part of the rotation. I will never stop using this. In some iteration, whether it's this black Leuttchturm cover or a different Leuttchturm cover, the guts are pretty much the same. These guys are like supporting actors. This is the star, and these are the supporting actors in the movie of my life. And then this is the highlight reel, right? If we're gonna use that metaphor. And I'm okay with that. I'm just enjoying it. I'm enjoying having the creative outlet of these other things. I'm enjoying the functionality and knowing that Matilda works for my brain and keeps me feeling organized. And yeah, so that is, that's kind of where I'm at with my planners. I don't have a whole lot to show because there's not a whole lot that's changed. If you guys are interested in seeing something in particular, drop me a comment and let me know. I will be happy to consider recording a video for you. I do have some other requests that you have made that as soon as I get the energy to do those, I will record those. I've been a little under the weather for the month of January, so hopefully now I'm feeling a little better. I'll have some energy. I can do some more recordings for you guys and get some of those requests taken care of. And as a special bonus recommendation for you guys, if you haven't bought these and you like Swedish fish, well, even if you don't, I mean, unless you think Swedish fish are gross, but this is my guilty pleasure for the month of February. I found these when I was buying Valentine's goodies for my kids to put a little care package together to send to them at school. These are really good. And I opened them this morning while I was journaling, and I was like, oh, this is dangerous. So Swedish fish hearts, everybody, for the month of February. If you haven't tried them, you should try them. I think you will enjoy them. And also, in one final recommendation, I got this pen case in January, and I really like it. I got it at Hobby Lobby, I think. Hobby Lobby? Pretty sure, because I haven't been really anywhere else. But I like it because it's deep, and it's also hard, so it protects things. And then in here, I have all of the things that I use for my Hobonichi. Let's see if I can show you without dropping everything out. Everything that I use for my Hobonichi. So I've got a highlight, correction tape. I've got a little baby adhesive. I've got my pens, my fountain pens, my Tombos, that kind of thing. And everything fits in there, and it zips closed, and I can throw this in my bag and not worry about anything happening to it, because it, you know, it's stiff and everything's well protected. And the fact that it's pink and coincidentally goes very nicely with my cover for my Hobonichi, which is a Foxy Fix cover, that just added and made me additionally happy. So yeah, that's all I had to say. If you're still around, thank you so much for watching. I hope that you are doing well. Let me know in the comments below, how has your planning changed from January 1 to February 1? Is there anything different that you're doing? Did you start out with great intentions about doing something new and do like me and decide that that was overrated and you wanted to go back to the same old, same old? Let me know. I'm curious to hear about your planning changes from January to February. Thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate all of you guys, and I'm looking forward to talking to you again soon. Bye, everybody.